Hey YouTube, I just wanted to put together a little video to show how to use magnets to create action figure displays. So for a long time now, I've been trying to figure out a way to display my action figures without breaking the bank. There's some options out there, not a lot. One thing I tried a long time ago was the NECA display stand, which works pretty well. It doesn't work with all action figures that I've tried it with. It works, best with Toy Biz Marvel Legends, some of the NECA stuff, and older things like that. I mainly collect the Marvel Legends, so especially the newer ones don't really fit on that, the Hasbro ones. So I bought some of these stands from a seller on eBay. They're kind of made for the Hasbro Marvel Legends stuff. They're not the best option. As you can see, they're sort of unique in that there are 3 different peg holes on there. It's a kind of a cool design, but it's also sort of frustrating sometimes to do setups with it. On the Toy Arc and the Fush forums, there's actually an individual named Ultraman Zoffy who talked about using magnets like this to keep his action figures standing up and on displays and stuff, and it sounded like a really great idea. I never actually followed up with what he had talked about until recently here, where I picked these up. I'll kind of show the process of how I get the magnets into the figure's feet. Just take one little magnet off of the bunch there. It's usually easiest if you attach the magnet to a metallic surface first, so that way it's got its stationary point there. Then you just take your action figure, line the peg hole up with the magnet as best you can there, push it in, and that is it. That's all it takes to get the magnet to attach to the figure. It's kind of a snug fit most of the times with most of these guys, so his foot is magnetized. So now that we have one magnet on one foot, we'll try to put a magnet into the other foot. Separate one off, line up the peg hole with the magnet. Kind of doing it here at a weird angle, so bear with me. Push it in, and that's it. So now he's got 2 magnets in his feet, and he will be pretty stable on his stand. So far the best and most cost-effective method I've found to have a metallic stand that these magnets work pretty well with are these washers that I picked up from a Lowe's home improvement store. I'll try to list the information clearer so everyone can see it. These were actually pretty affordable too. For a pack of 20, I think it came out to $6 or $7. I also went to Lowe's and picked up a couple of metal grates. They were in the home improvement section by the siding and wood and things like that. I don't know exactly what they're called, but I will show some of those here in the video too. They also work great, but I believe the washers are the cheapest and easiest method if you want to do multiple stands for your figures and not have to spend a small fortune in doing so. But I would love it if other people have suggestions or ideas as to other small, cheap, efficient metallic objects that the magnets could adhere to that you could use with your figure displays. That would be great, because I've been kind of racking my brain and searching around for things to use, and so far the washers have been the best method for me. And with some of my washers here, I've painted them white because my current bookshelf that I'm going to be displaying my things on is white, and they don't stand out as much as the metallic ones. And to paint the washers, I've used just a regular cheap old spray paint. These just seem to be a really great cost-effective method for me at this point. So here's a figure this works great with. It's a Hasbro Jack-o'-lantern Marvel Legends figure. He's a great figure, but he's got weak legs compared to his top-heavy half, and he has difficulty standing sometimes. So having one magnet in one foot there, just putting him right on the stand. Again, it's not perfect, but you can see he's a heck of a lot more stable than he is regularly. Hasbro Marvel Legends Venom. Magnet fit in there alright, no problems. Marvel Legends Gambit works with them. They fit with the Hasbro Marvel Legends Carnage. So here's an example of one figure that's had magnets added to him. On the bottom peg hole there, you can see I inserted a magnet. And the magnets fit in, they're a good fit, they just fit right in there, you don't have to do anything about it. Then I drilled a secondary hole into the foot using a Dremel, the standard Dremel drill bit. And here's an example with Speed Demon, who I have 2 magnets installed with. You can get some one-legged poses there with him if you'd like. It's definitely stronger with 2, and depending on the figure I may end up going that route. But that it does mean you have to mod the figure a little bit to do that. You can see it's fairly strong with the 2 magnets, strong enough to pull up that little washer in and of itself. But it works, it works pretty well. You just have to take a little bit more time and effort and energy if you want to do the 2 magnets into a character's foot like that. I'm not sure yet, again, if I want to do it with all my figures, but definitely with some of them, it might not be a bad idea. So here's an example of some of the figures I've tried it with that work well. No glue or anything required for these guys. Put that on, insert it, and voila. Now he's got 2 in his feet. And he should stand just fine there. Batman has 1 in his foot, so we will give him a second one too. Just take one of these off, put it on. The DC Universe male figures that I've tested this with seem to work pretty well. It's a very, very flush, good fit with those. The DC New 52 Wonder Woman doesn't work with them. Magnets will fit the peg holes for any character that I've tried them with, but sometimes the peg holes are either a little bit too big or a little bit deeper than the magnets are, so they'll just pop right back out. A little dab of super glue and they would stay in there. It's just something you'll have to do if you want to use it with some of these figures. Okay, so now I thought I'd try another female figure, the Hasbro Spider-Girl. We'll put the magnet on there, line up the peg hole. Oh, it doesn't really want to fit her either, so that's kind of disappointing. So Spider-Girl, it looks like it would fit pretty snug on there, but it's just a little bit too loose to use with her as well. So I think just a dab of super glue and it would be fine. I took some hot glue, just a little dab, right on one of the magnets. Put 1 into each foot for both these characters and it works great. They're very strong when you have them centered on the weights there, on the washers. They work great, they look great. Both these characters now stand well, and I think going forward I may just try to use hot glue instead of super glue to start off. That way I know it's more of a temporary fix, it's not as permanent as super glue and I can remove it if I want. And again, both these things are very strong. Kind of give it a shot of how it looks there. So I'm very happy about that. I think hot glue will be my solution for the time being. These are some test displays using the magnets and the washers in my bookcase. The washers here are painted white, blending in with the bookcase. Some of the DC figures. Darkseid back there is not using any magnets yet. He's a bigger figure. I may try and experiment and see how they work with him, but for right now, he's the way he is. Everybody's sturdy, everybody's standing. Group shot with a bunch of figures using a magnetic dry erase board. So overall, yeah, I think these things work pretty great. Unfortunately, I wish it would fit more figures without needing any sort of glue or anything else. And I hope this video was kind of informative to other people who are looking for alternatives to have their figures standing and not have to worry about everything falling over and getting that domino effect all the time. I'd love to hear other people's ideas. If there's different methods or different metallic objects you could think of that would work great for bases, that would be awesome. Thank you for watching.
Hot dog.